So today we're going to have a look at how to add using the addition algorithm or chimney sums. Now these are called lots of different things. You might call them just sums or upstairs downstairs sums, or who knows what you might call them. But basically, let me show you. For the first question, 42 add 33. This is just like having 42 add 33 written one above the other and a line at the bottom. So you've probably seen these before. But here's just a reminder on how to do it. Okay. So when I'm adding up, I always start from the right. I always make sure I've got the units in this column. So that's like 2 units and 3 units. And then come the tens. Oh, that's written funny. The tens. Okay, so 4 tens in 42, 3 tens in 33. And I'm just going to add up. I always start from the right. Start with the units. Okay. And I'm going to add 2 add 3. 2 units add 3 units. 5 units. Now in the tens column, I've got 4 tens and 3 tens. That's 7 tens. So I've got 75. You'll notice I'm using squared paper and I've got everything nice and neat, one number in each box. Okay. So for the next one, I've got 213 add 45. Now this is slightly different because the two numbers are different lengths. Okay. But I still just need to make sure I've got my hundreds, tens and units all in the right place. So 213, that's 200, sorry, 110 and 3 units. And then 45 is going to go above. So that the units, everything's always lined up from the right. So I start adding from the right and I make sure everything's lined up at the right. Okay, so 3 units add 5 units, that's 8 units. For the tens, I've got 1 add 4 is 5. And for the hundreds, I've got 2 add this blank. Now that just means there's 0 hundreds there. 2 add 0 is just 2. So I've got 258 as my final answer. Now it does get a little bit trickier. So here I've got 57 add 38. So let's write them. Okay, one number, I'm writing that a bit wrong. One number per box. I've got my units lined up to the right. Okay. Now 7 add 8, that's 15. So it's like I've got 5 units. Let's just put these in. I've got tens and units. 5 units and 1 extra 10. Now people put this 1 in different places. You might put the 1 down there. You might put the 1 in here. You might put it up the top. Okay. I quite like putting it up the top. So I've got all my, trying to rub that out, but I can't. I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so I've got all the tens. You're less likely to forget it if it's up there. The 1, the 5 and the 3 are all together. So 1 add 5, that's 6. Add on 3, that's 9. So 95 is my answer. And let's just try this last one. Okay, so for this one I've got thousands as well, but that's fine. So I'm going to write in 8, 4, 7, 3. And then underneath that, I just need to make sure those 8 units, they're in the units column. So it's going to be 908 there. So everything, I've got my thousands, hundreds, tens and units all lined up correctly. Okay, I put my plus at the side to show that I'm adding. 3 add 8, that's 11. Okay, so I've got in 11, there's 1 unit and 1 10. Okay, so that extra 10 goes there. For my tens, I've got 1 add 7 is 8. Add on 0, still 8. Okay, for my hundreds, I've got 4 add 9, okay? So that's kind of the same situation. 4 hundreds add 9 hundreds, that's 13 hundreds, okay? So it's like I've got 3 in the hundreds and then 1 extra 1,000. You can think of it as writing like my answer 13. I'm writing that just kind of on a slant, on the diagonal. So it's like I've got the number 13, the 1 and the 3 there, okay? And 1 add 8 makes 9,000. Okay, so remember 10 hundreds makes 1,000. So that extra 10, if I've got 13 hundreds, that's 3 hundreds. And 10 hundreds, 10 hundreds makes 1,000. 1 add 8 is 9. Okay, so that's how I do that with carrying. Okay, so things to remember are, okay, make sure units are lined up at the right. Okay, you need to start adding at the right. Okay, so don't go adding the thousands first, then the hundreds, then the tens, then the units. You're working your way up. Start adding at the right. Okay, and move left. And don't forget carried numbers. So like that little one up the top there, don't forget about that. Okay, and keep everything neat. Write on squared paper, if possible. I mean, if you don't have any squared paper, you're just going to have to be super neat. Squared paper, and try and put one number in every box. One number per box. Okay, if you were really struggling, let's say you've got a maths jotter and it's got tiny, tiny squares, you could take like 4 boxes altogether for one number. Okay, so if your square paper was like split up into teeny tiny squares like that, just take 4 boxes. Okay, so I would write 8 overall 4, 4 overall 4, add 27, let's say, if you see what I mean. Or ask your teacher if they've got jotters with bigger squares. Okay, that's how you do the addition algorithm.